All right, on this Ask Sam, we're going to talk about how society just doesn't make good decisions. We've been doing a series, or kind of a series, on how humans are emotional creatures and not very logical. And we spoke originally about that, and we spoke about how if you were paying attention and being logical, the world should seem like a crazy place. And now I want to talk about something else. And this is something, and I've mentioned this before, I do advisory to businesses. That's a big piece of what I do for my career. And one of the things that I do, obviously, is I take psychology and I take sociology and I take all this analysis of how humans work and explain it and logic and business decision making to businesses to help them think logically about the world. But all of those things also apply to people as individuals. They apply slightly differently in many cases, but the concepts apply, and that's why I have this channel, right? Because this is something I do. I analyze the world in these ways, and it applies like this. So this is one that applies equally to business and to consumers, and that is that watching what everyone else does. When you say things like, well, everybody's doing this, chances are it's a horrible, horrible decision. Whether it's the place to live that everyone else is living, the type of house that everyone is buying, the car that everyone else has, the computer that everyone else has, the operating system that everybody else is using, the whatever, if everybody's buying it, it's probably not a very good thing for you to buy. If everyone is doing it, it's probably not a very good thing to do. That doesn't mean you should go out and automatically avoid whatever is popular at the time, but it does mean that you should step back and say, wait, am I actually evaluating this thing? Does it make sense? Or am I simply seeing a crowd do something and doing it because the crowd does? And sometimes that's all that matters. Right? As now in business, it does not. But in consumers, yes, there are times where, well, all of my friends are doing this thing. They're all watching this new sport that came out. Is that sport any good? Is this a good use of my time? Well, none of those things logically make sense. But socially, I want to spend time with the people that I know. Maybe you move into a big city and it's very costly and it's not good for your job, but you really want to be around all these people. It's the only way to make that happen. Well, there's a way to apply logic to that and put a value on your desire for that social proximity to lots of people or whatever. But that's an important thing to do. Say, am I moving to New York City because I value the culture of New York City and the things that it provides for me? Or am I doing it because all the people I know did it and I didn't want to have to evaluate that for myself and I'm just copying decisions that others have made? It's really common. Our brains love to do this. If lots of people have done it, one, I don't have to think about it. I have to put in no effort whatsoever. I'm just going to follow the crowd. Marketing plays on this big time. They know that your brain is going to prefer anything that doesn't require work and anything that gives you an automatic excuse of, well, they all did it. They must have been thinking about it. They provided logic. I don't have to, which makes no sense. You didn't even provide the logic around that because they're all doing the exact same thing that you are. They said, here's an ad. It acted like other people did it. They must have done it, so I'm going to do it too. They're looking at you and saying, he thought it was okay. She thought it was okay. Why is it not okay for me? Because none of you thought about it, probably. That's the first thing. And the second thing is it gives a great built-in excuse, not just an excuse to your spouse or your friends or your parents. It also gives an excuse to you. And that's a very powerful thing in the human brain. We want to make excuses to ourselves all the time. The person you lie the most to is you. All day long, you lie to yourself about everything. Why you thought of something, why you wanted to do something, what you actually were thinking at the time, what other people mean. Everything. You lie to yourself like crazy. You probably lie to other people like crazy too, mostly because you've already lied to yourself and it's really hard to tell someone else the truth when you won't tell it to yourself. So you tend to repeat the same garbage you tell yourself to other people because you have to. But when we look at what everyone is doing, we should not be allowing our brain to say, wait, I don't have to have made this decision. All those people did. So therefore, if I question it myself, and this is obviously subconscious, if I question myself, why did I do that? I don't have to question that. It's a guaranteed good decision. All those people did it. It's not our fault. They all did it too. So if it goes wrong, if I wasted money, if the product is crap, if the concept that I bought into is stupid, well, it's not my fault because it wasn't my logic at place. It was their logic. My logic was that all their logic was probably good. But that's bad logic and that's bad logic. It's just lots of bad logic. And you're lying to yourself if you think that's an excuse, because it's not. It should have been, wait, all those people are doing it. Chances are they don't have any logic. And if they're all doing it without logic, that makes it a bad thing. So the fact that they're all doing it should warn me that it probably doesn't make sense. It doesn't guarantee it doesn't make sense, right? It just makes it likely. Sometimes a great decision will get lots of people, not because it's a great decision. It will consistently never be chosen because it's a great decision. But just because it's a great decision will not stop people from choosing it. It'll just never be the reason. Thanks for joining me. This is Ask Sam. Remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.